So it's January 2019, getting towards the tail end of season, obviously. Down to the last few hunts of the year. I've been hunting with my son Carter most of the season, all the way through bow season and through both of the gun seasons. He's been with me. Hunted in some tough weather. The kid was tough, and I've really been trying to reward him by showing him a good hunt for a good buck. And we're down to the wire and really hoping we can pull it off. This year was actually kind of a tough late season to hunt in Iowa. I mean, it was just unseasonably warm the entire month of January and most of December as far as that goes. We kind of decided we'd go over to our cattle farm. We've been seeing a lot of deer over there as we've been doing chores. The deer are used to the human pressure over there, where they respond well to the pressure because they're used to it. The deer don't get pushed away when we're in there doing chores every morning. Tractors running, trucks in and out, things like that. So these deer are real comfortable around there. Should be able to slip right in with the truck, park in the parking lot like I'm doing chores, short walk into the hay bale stack. We're gonna climb up on top, hopefully catch these deer transitioning out of the pasture and out of the draw and come out into the big feed field at night. These deer have been moving late. We played off that. We moved on to the farm late, just try to keep the hunt short for Carter, not drag it out too long to where he's tired and not really enjoying himself. So we wanted to keep the hunt kind of short, knowing that the deer were going to move closer to evening since it was warmer. We decided to sit on this cornstalk bale pile where we could see a big section of this field. We chop this field for silage every year for our cattle, and then we put a cover crop on it, so we always have a green food source going into late season, and it can be a big draw, and that farm will stack up with a lot of deer.
It's probably the last day I'll hunt. I might go one more day, but I doubt it. The weather is just awful. It's 55. Got a west wind. We're doing something different. We're sitting up on top of a big cornstalk bale pile over in our cattle farm, me and Carter. And right when we pulled in, we already had some does that were coming out to feed.
I was figuring on the deer coming out to the south of us with the wind direction that we had. There was a lot of west in the wind that night, but found out that I was gonna be wrong.
We got deer coming in right behind us right now. Looks like some does and a small buck maybe.
These deer are gonna have to pass by directly downwind, and this is a good time for me to educate Carter a little bit about why we take these necessary measures at home to keep our clothes washed with the phase, to keep them stored airtight, to keep the odor sponges in our boots, to keep our gear sprayed down. This is a very teachable moment, and for him to be able to understand, oh, okay, this makes sense. This is why we do this. And at this point, all we can do is hope that the phase is gonna keep us clean, and we're gonna let all these deer pass right below us downwind. We had 5 or 6 does come directly downwind, and he was able to see and understand that, okay, this is why we do it, and this is why it works. So at this point, I'm not sure if we're gonna get away with this. We've got a lot of eyes, ears, and noses directly downwind, most of them within bow range. Like I said, this was a teachable moment for Carter, so he's kind of seeing how these deer respond, and they're checking the wind, they're kind of looking around, they're high alert, and we're visually exposed. I mean, we're sitting on top of a cornstalk bale pile in the wide open, trying to tell him, hey, we gotta be real still, try not to move. And he's staying real still, he's doing his part, and I'm just hoping that we got enough cover scent in the air with the smell of the cows, and also that the phase will help keep us clean, and that these deer are just gonna pass right on by us. Well, the does are kind of milling around for a little while, and they eventually kind of feed out of sight. And I'm kind of scanning around, looking around, hoping that there's some more deer coming. It's starting to get late in the evening, starting to run out of time. The does have started to walk away at this point. I don't even know if I'm gonna have an opportunity to doe. Suddenly I catch a glimpse of antlers down in the bottom, and I can see that it's a pretty good buck coming. He's kind of just slowly trolling up along the edge of this little ditch, and he's taking his sweet time. And I let Carter know that, hey, there's a buck down there. He gets him spotted so he can see him coming in. I got my fingers crossed the whole time that buck makes it up there before dark. I can tell right away, yep, this is a buck I'm gonna shoot, especially with Carter. This will be his first buck hunt experience, and I wanted to give that to him. Well, the buck's on his approach. He's coming from the east, and the way I was set up, I was prepared to shoot to the south. I had to let the buck come, fully commit, and actually go past us a little ways to offer me the right angle.
Are you kidding me? With my boy, that's my first buck ever with Carter. We had 6 does come directly downwind, and that buck did the same thing. He came on the bottom side down here by this ditch and came 100% downwind the whole way, and I shot him exactly downwind. Are you kidding me? I don't have a puffer bottle on me, but you can see the wind is blowing exactly at that deer. Phase is the only reason we got that buck. Oh, we just shot a monster. Yes. Yes.
A big 11-point buck down on January 7th. Just tried something new and it worked out. Couldn't be happier.
Scent control is obviously the #1 factor in this hunt. If you can't beat their noses, the hunt's over before it begins. For me, scent control starts at home. I shower with the Phase products before every hunt, using the scent-free Phase deodorants, keeping my clothes in a scent-free storage tote, using the odor sponges, things like that keep all the odors and moisture out of your clothes and out of your boots. That stuff's all huge, and like I said, if those deer would have winded us, the hunt would have been over before it started.
But again, this deer came in 100% directly downwind. I mean, without a product like Phase, I mean, it just never would have happened. Awesome buck. Not my biggest buck by any means, but a buck I'm super proud of, super happy that I got to get my first buck with Carter.
Well, I'm a deer hunter.